So here's a quick overview of my characters. I've generally started a character uh, every other league. I think I've missed some of the most what I would consider fun one. The last one looked really good, but I was playing other things. This Call of Ancestors one I'm not a big fan of. This is my level 91 character that I've got at the moment. Uh, Obviously, when I was learning the game, it was a bit harder, so I've got a few level 74s. 94 Mega Pega, that was quite a good character that I had. Mr. Stabby Stabby Stab. Uh, Champion. I think this guy used a bow. And then the last couple of leagues that I really got into it, level 98, didn't quite make the 100, but then the one I played before, I did get to 100, so I've got over 2,000 hours in this game, so take this review as someone who has got experience in this game, but mostly playing solo, and that does make a big difference. So let's show you a little bit more. So here's my hideout. It's basic. I've not spent any real money on this sort of stuff. It's just a nice simple layout. I've got my stash bang next to the waypoint, next to my map device. Got the crafting tables up here. Everyone who I need to speak to is just a couple of clicks away. I want to show you where I'm at the moment. Put a few hours into this league. It's a tier, I thought it was tier 12 map. Let's just put that in. I'll talk to you a little bit as I play this map. Just need to activate a couple of buffs. We've got Cat Scythe, Hatred. I'm struggling with my mana a little bit at the moment. I just want to show you a Flicker Strike build. So it's not the best at the moment. The DPS is pretty low. But the defenses aren't bad. And this is a common problem that that happens in PoE. You don't know whether to get less defenses, more DPS, or move away from your DPS and get more defenses. So I'm just clearing out all these minions, these enemies. And then we can activate this ritual. Oh, that was the ritual. Did it already? My movement speed's down as well at the moment. It's not where I want it to be. So silver coin, that's the new league mechanic currency. I think the prices are slowly increasing on them. So I'm mostly a solo player on Path of Exile, and if you do play in a large group, your screen just looks like complete chaos. There's a million and one projectiles going in off everywhere. There's normally someone in the group who's dedicated to just giving buffs to the other players. And it's a real mess. So I just prefer playing solo. Have got no friends to actually play this with. I know there's guilds and stuff, but the community actually feels quite toxic in terms of if your DPS isn't 2 billion, then they're not very welcoming, unless it's actually a very newbie guild. So let's have a look at these. But the benefit of playing in a group, you get a currency bonus into the couple of 100%. You get rarity drop bonuses, all things that you don't get as a solo player. But even as a solo player, I'm currently on 311% increased rarity of items found. I've actually changed a lot of my gear lately, but I have got an extra 25% here, but I was recently running at plus 100%. And I'm just not getting the good drops to the point where I'm actually dipping out of a map to sell this for 2 chaos. Sale 1. Look, he doesn't even come. Says he wants it. You saw how fast I accepted that invite. It was an instant accept on the invite. Instant invite. Oh, changes his mind after all. Sometimes that does happen. Oh yeah, no, he's gone again. So this is a problem with trading. The trading sounds good on principle. Oh, there's trading in the game, but you've seen the flip. You've seen the side of it where someone's asking me for an item. When I actually want an item, to get someone to respond is just diabolical. So, sometimes I'll see the item I want for 1 chaos and 10 people won't reply to that. So then I go to the same item for 2 chaos, might get another 5 people that don't respond to that. The trading system, it's almost half lies, if that makes sense, from these market setters who will convince people by setting up all these fake accounts that the item's only worth 1 chaos. So you go, when you get that item, you go, oh, 1 chaos, that's nice, I'll sell it for 1 chaos. But in reality, the item's worth probably 3, 4, 5 times that much. But you just get lured into that false sense of security because there's so many people or so many fake or bot accounts that are listed in it for 1 chaos. But then they take advantage of you, they buy it for that 1 when you're too inexperienced to realise that it's actually worth 5, and then they'll flip it for 5. But that's really annoying for a new player, or even as an experienced player, because each league prices vary a lot, so you think, oh, it's worth 1 chaos, so you're spending your time sending out these invites, and then you realise, oh, it's actually worth 5, and then you spend half an hour just to do this 1 trade. It's like, great, I've been sat here half an hour to get this thing that I wanted ages ago. It's just frustrating. Like, why I can't set up my own little shop and put some items in it and say, hey, if you want this item, I've got it in my shop. I don't need to be here online constantly. I'd love to log in. I'd love to log in one day and go, come to my little shop and go, oh, that item sold. Brilliant. Even if it only let me put, I can understand how it might be abused, so just let me put 10 items in there, because this is the thing at the moment. I've got my cha-ching tab of my most expensive items. So I've been using the Awakened POB software that currently launches over my desktop, so I'm not going to show that at the moment. But it's showing this item value is very, very high. Divines are the best currency in the game at the moment. They're really valuable. And to put it into context, the sword that I actually want to move away from the one-handed weapon and the shield. I want a two-handed sword, and it costs 18 of these divines. I've only had 2 divine drops in the entire league, and let me just show you something. I've killed 200,000 monsters almost, and I've only had 2 divine drops. So on that rate, I would nearly need to kill 2 million monsters to get the sword that I want for this build. Now apparently this is worth a lot of money, but it's just not selling. And these are my really expensive ones. for some of you experienced players, you'll know +1 level of all skill gems, spell skill gems, and 1 level to all physical spell skill gems is a really good combination. There's some more crit chance on there and everything, so you know that's good. Similar to sort of +1 level to all physical skill gems on a necklace with crit. You could Exalt Orb that with a Shaper Exalt Orb or Hunter Exalt Orb, whatever you wanted. The increased intelligence implicit, that's generally worth a couple of divine at this stage in the game, and there's just nothing selling at the moment. And in PoE you need currency to progress, because I mean, let me just get back in this map here.
I can't do this just yet.
I have been picking up item after item after item, and it's just not improving my build. Just not improving my build at all. And I get these little drips of currency. And when I need a sword that costs 18 divine, I'm just not getting it in that manner. So you need to rely on selling things that you find. Because obviously I've only got one tune, so the idea behind it is that you find stuff that's good for other builds and you sell it to them. But I feel at this stage everyone's sort of in a guild that they're friendly with. In fact, I'm almost at a conspiracy level worse than this, in that these Uber groups that get to level 100 within the first few days, that they're farming all this currency with the bonuses that they get. And then they go into these external websites, what it's illegal to do with PoE, they'll ban your account. Look here. Selling ancestor item div chaos. Go to poeitem.com, and I'll guarantee if you go to poeitem.com now, last week you'd have paid $25 for a divine. I don't know what it might be $5 now. So if I wanted that sword that I'm talking about for 18 divine, that might cost me 50 quid or 100 quid, somewhere in that region. So how is a free game making money? Obviously microtransactions, there's a lot of microtransactions. These don't add actually any damage to character, they're just cosmetic. But the sheer lack of currency in this game is leading me to believe that the developers and the top people community, they've made it this free game like this on purpose, to get people so stuck and frustrated at this level that you go to those currency websites and buy currency for real money. Because I mean, it doesn't look as bad as it used to be, but them messages used to come through all the time. Oh, go to this website, buy this currency, buy this currency. It's non-stop. So why aren't the game developers taking any action to stop it? But let me explain a little bit more about why I'm feeling frustrated like this. Because the sad truth is, you can play these maps over and over again, and there's some good content. This is just mapping. I like the Rogue Hideout, Rogue Harbour, whatever you call it. I can show you some of that later. And there's different content in the game to keep people entertained, but you'll never progress to the end bosses unless you get lucky with a very good item that you're going to use, which rarely happens. You get lucky enough to find a really valuable item, which rarely happens, and then you actually get lucky enough that someone buys it off of you. And they're trash. Can go in the collection. I generally look at. So let's have a look what we've got here. Some uniques for the box. Blah blah blah. So when we're looking at items, we're looking for tier 1s, and there's a certain set of tier 1s that are good depending on which item and which build. So all that's tier 5 rubbish. Again, rubbish. So we've got tier 1 life on there, but everything else is pretty trash. That's really, if it's not all relatively good and working in sync, it's literally trash. And this is with a loot filter on, by the way. Look, if I hold alt, there's even more there. But this isn't my top loot filter. I only put my top loot filter on when I get to tier 16. And I normally get to tier 16 per league. Normally get a decent character, but I've not got the currency this league. It's just shocking. So this is your average experience for a PoE player, is that you'll just hit this raw block. And especially if you're new to PoE, because if you're new to PoE, you're not using the price checker, so you don't know what's valuable and what is valuable. You probably also not have the premium stash tabs. You won't be knowing how to set up a premium stash tab publicly and actually trading. You won't know what builds want what items. Like, don't get me wrong, when I was new to this game for 400 hours, I was probably throwing items away that I didn't even know was valuable. Out of all the leagues I've played, I've only ever had one headhunter, and I only bought it because it wasn't even suitable for that build particularly, but I bought it because I finally had the currency in one league to actually buy it. It cost like 100, I think, exalts at the time, because they've changed to which currency is the top level currency. And so let me just feed this boss. So obviously, if you're coming from Diablo, or you're a solo player, or you like playing with one friend, you know, a duo, do not expect to be getting to the top bosses in this game. This is the kind of level that you'll reach and not be able to break through unless you get extremely lucky. Struggling here a little bit. As you can see, even with my pretty poor DPS, I am taking quite a bit of punishment. Come on, die. Like, there is no way right now I'll be able to do, like, probably even a decent Maven invite, let alone Eater of Worlds and Shapers and all that sort of stuff. I need some serious upgrades in my gear. You'll be like, wow, this looks like a good fight. You should surely get some decent rewards out of this. No. Oh, well. This is just a tier 12 map boss. Press Z a minute to hide those items, getting in the way of the touch. Okay, and down they go. Couple more crappy uniques. It's like, there's just nothing good there. So let's have a look in the ritual. I've still got one more to go, but they're Junum reveals, which I just need to do them to get the crafts. Again, it's just a long time looking, and this is where your knowledge and experience comes in. I mean, even that's not really worth a lot, but I haven't even got one. Gilded Expedition, Scarab. Oh, yeah, just nothing of value in here, really. So, again, this is probably more for some of the experienced players. My estimated physical damage reduction is almost 50%. If I put Flask on, it's like 65. 66% chance to evade. Spell suppression chance 40, that goes up to 55 if I hit an enemy. My resistance is capped, but my chaos, recently it was plus 30%, but I've changed my armor to the Farrell's Fur, and I've not got Cat Scythe on a ring yet, so I had to buy the helmet. Because I bought the helmet, I bought the gloves, so my chaos went back down to 47%. I can change that pretty much as soon as I get a decent ring with aspect of the cat. So as well, I've also got 29% chance to block. So in terms of defenses, it's pretty well rounded. The armor and evasion goes up when I'm leeching as well, with 3,400 life, 150 energy shield. All in all, I'm struggling not to die. It's just the DPS is fucking terrible. I think because of how well rounded the defenses are, I don't know if to just go for two-handed axes at the moment. But again, it all comes back to being currency locked, and this is just what is pissing me off about Path of Exiles. Like, well, I said it there. I called the game Path of Exiles. It's not called Path of Exiles. It's called Path of Exile. Like, how GGD don't think that playing solo is harder than playing in a fucking group that's all fully buffed. I don't get it. Like, that feeds the conspiracy to me, because the solo players should be getting the higher rarity chances. Because some minions might be resistant to, like, say, fire, and if you're a person using fire, you're gonna have a tough time dealing with them enemies. If you're a person who's using physical damage, you come up against minions that are resistant to physical damage, you're gonna have a tough time, so on and so forth, through all the damage types. If you're in a group of 6, one of you's got fire, lightning, cold, the other one's got physical damage over time, poisons. You're chewing through everything. It doesn't matter if they've got like double HP, triple HP or whatever, because one of you has got their mega weakness. And you're just gonna melt anything. But yeah, the solo players punish the most. He doesn't get any bonuses, any benefits from playing solo. I don't even know why I'm killing this dude, because yeah, forget it. I've delayed all the best rewards in there anyway. Defer, should I say? I mean, this actually, people have got that listed at 50 chaos because of the implicit, but no one will buy it for 50 chaos. Not a chance. Oh, it's worth 50 chaos. No, it ain't. I don't know. Some newer people might think, oh, you know, the build looks decent. It looks pretty fast. Like I say, this is only tier 12. I mean, it's got a little bit of juice. Nothing special. It's gonna hurt. And this is a good base item right now. Night life is good. Oh, it's not actually that good. It's tier 4. See, this is when you're looking at so many prefixes and so many suffixes. I mean, I'm gonna have to check that one out because it's got all physical spell. That's not normally alright. Have I got any currency to roll that? No. These ones are generally trash anyway. Some people say, let's have a quick look at your Atlas skill tree. I need to change this start a bit actually. I've gone for the heist. I like heist. It's my favourite thing in the game. So no one's taking that away from me. Ritual. I've done some of the better looking ones in my opinion. Start going up here for when I get to the higher tier maps. I'll start getting the Elder and Guardian. But I was just starting to think I'm done with this league. It's just the brutality of playing solo is just not worth it. I've been farming the harvest a little bit as well. Another harvest done there. What have I missed? Tier 4, so yeah. I don't think there's much point doing tier 4 at the minute for where this build is. Yeah, so here's the rogue hideout. Just a quick overview of my characters. See that they've got some decent equipment. I've not done too much of it. I need to give it a good smash. But we've got some level 4s popping off. Oh, poor Isla. Never got something for her. Any job. Any job. Isla, can you have any of these? Hatred. Let's have anger. Oh, they're all for the same slot. How unfortunate.
Just keep me alive. I'll do the rest.
It's generally where I do have my better finds of items that are worth things.
Can't remember the last time I blacked out.
But yeah, I'm just showing this off as
Be a problem.
an alternative to the maps. Oh, that's not really worth anything. I've got just the custom loot filler on.
Incoming. Yeah. Can't do this. Yeah.
Oh yes, so people are selling builds there in the chat. Obviously they found something that works pretty well. I had someone quite interested in my level 100
What the
character.
fuck is this garbage?
And the funny thing is I shared that level 100 character because it was quite capable of doing endgame content from a DPS and staying alive point of view.
Be a problem.
And then I find a couple of weeks later the way how I set it up's just been changed in the game. You can't even do that anymore. Which again points back to my conspiracy of if GGG find a way that a single player, a player who's not in their little inner circle, manages to do complete endgame content, that they nerf the hell out of it.
Or else.
So you can't do it because why would they want competition? Why would they want someone earning that endgame currency when they want to sell it to you for real money on an external website that they'll claim that they've got nothing to do with?
Wasn't worth it, was it?
Oh, let's punish that solo player who's figured a way out how to play the game. Don't need that. Check that. I'll price check it, but not be worth anything.
Might need to bail soon.
I desperately need better gloves, better boots, better helmet, better weapons.
We got company. Almost there.
Huh? I got stuck on the door.
Yeah, I know. Not even close.
But yeah, I'm not one of these people who expect everything, like every game, every map. Oh, I need a divine every map. I'm definitely not that person. Like I say, I've got 2,000 hours in the game.
Try to make it quick.
I do love RNG. It's what gives me those dopamine hits. It's what gives me that sense of achievement. But Path of Exile, they recently introduced that ruthless mode. What is supposedly very hard to get currency in, and I just feel that's the base game at the minute. 200,000 monsters killed, and I've had 2 raw drops of the most valuable currency in the game. I've just spent all of my chaos trying to roll a good item. Didn't happen. I have rolled good items in previous games, but it just seems to be getting worse and worse. But this is at a time where people are falling out with Diablo. They've got a chance to bring in some new players, a bit of excitement. And at the moment, it just seems to be disappointment. Disappointment after disappointment. I just feel like I'm going round and round in circles, not getting anywhere. Whereas people who were playing in a group, getting that extra 200-300% bonus for having an easier time. It's just taking the piss. It's just taking the piss to me. Oh, have an easier time, boys, and earn a lot of extra fucking currency. I'm sorry, it's just fucking pissing me off. Let's have a look what we got out of this. Oh, do it. This guy. Trash. That's the quest item. 2,000. Trash. Actually, 35% increased elemental damage. Everything else is very poor about it. Global crit. Plus 3 life. I mean, that just ruins it all, really. I could put it up for sale for 5 chaos. No one's going to buy it. Let's just have a quick look at everything else. 2 chaos. That's nothing now. Like divines are like over 250 chaos almost. I doubt it'll sell with that live, but I'll just put it for sale for like 25 chaos. Oh, that's worth nothing. Again, this isn't really worth anything. But it's like, I've played Rogue Hideout a lot, and I can have fun doing it when I feel like I'm progressing. But there's people running around with just the best stuff in the game now. They're getting the High Templar's gloves, which is like a high end game content drops. And I'm just nowhere near end content at this rate. I'm just nowhere near it. And it's because I'm not getting currency. I'm not getting drops. And you saw on the maps I'm on plus 400% rarity. I don't feel like I could join any groups at this stage because they'll be like, oh my god, why are you level 91 and not doing any damage? But this is the reality of what the average solo player is going to get to. You can't do this just yet. I mean, if you're new to PoE, but you're very good at sort of RPGs and ARPGs, you might get to this stage. I mean, how much have I actually spent? I've spent 3 divine on that. 3 divine for this chest piece. Like I say, I found 2 divine rare drops. So you could rare drop your way into this. This I actually spent 3 divine on because it's a very high DPS single-handed weapon. So actually, if you're a new player, 6 divines, level 91, you're probably not getting that. You're probably not. You might see it on the floor, but you probably ignore it because you don't even know what it's worth. That was about 50 chaos, I think, not too much. Everything else is cheap, really. The ascendancies, if you check Steam achievements and how many people actually choose an ascendancy, it was low. It was well under 50%. Might have been under 25%. So people are walking away from PoE before they've even got the ascendancy, and it's because the upgrades in your character stop happening. Like we've seen the likes of Darth microtransaction come to PoE, start playing. I don't know much about the guy, but it seems pretty competent at ARPGs. But don't forget, he's playing to thousands of people, and he's got people in chat sort of telling him what to do, giving him an advice. And I know he's said before that chat argues between itself sometimes. But honestly, that's how I learned a lot of stuff. Just in the game chat, people were arguing between themselves. But if you've got some intelligence about you, you can still get valuable information from that chart. Whether even if you go in one direction you don't like it and you go in the other direction of the chart, at least you've got some information to try out. And like I say, if you're competent, you can try that information out and find something that's useful and successful. And like he even said in his own video, he can stay alive a long time. Just his DPS isn't very good. I'm just sort of more of a medium than that. My DPS isn't great. My survivability isn't great. Well, I'm just looking for them upgrades, and they are just not coming. I mean, I had a few, some holidays from work. I've played a week, and it's just the same stuff that I've had for a full week. To the point where I was like, okay, let's craft my own item, my own upgrade. I had 300 chaos. It's gone. It's gone. No progress. Zero progress. My divines are gone because I bought this. Before the holiday started, I bought this item. So I've played for a full week, had no good drops in terms of currency, no divines, not a single divine drop. The items that I thought were worth something just ain't selling. I mean, I need 18 divine. I need 18 for my sword. So if I had 10, 13, 15, 8, I need all these to sell. I mean, I could knock a couple off that. This is my best one by far, and it's just not selling. And like I said, they're coming back in a full circle. I need to be online to sell this. So I'm running shitty little maps, hoping that a fucking shitty divine, hoping that the divine drops, which just ain't dropping, while I'm waiting for someone to fucking buy this. I'm just at the point of wanting to gouge my own fucking eyes out. It's like you need... This game is just built for the groups that are overpowered, that have at this stage completed the game. They're on the second or fucking third character. Like, the league mechanic... I think I'm just done. I'm just done with this league. One of the most popular builds is Spark. I almost went Spark because you go to this sort of tower defense mode, and if you're a Spark character, you can just fill the fucking screen with lightning balls. Whereas as a melee character, I have to actually go around and fight everyone. If they're attacking my totem, I have to go and defend it manually. Whereas if you're hitting them with a million sparks across screen, it don't matter. But that's how GGG have to build the game, because you can play that game as a team. So if there's 4 of you and you're all firing a million lightning balls everywhere, you can defend your totem very easy, because if someone's hitting your totem and you just get one little hit on them, it stops them hitting your totem. But I have to run halfway across the screen to stop hitting them with the melee weapon, whereas they've got a room full of a million lightning balls going off, and it's just so easy to defend that way. I just don't get why GGG cater to these teams and don't give any benefits to the solo player. I know melee's hard. That's on me. I made that choice. There's a lot of people who play the spells or the bow and arrow. Like I say, I normally just play the heist, which for me is a melee build running through very fast. That's good and fun for me. But where's my fun this league? When you've catered and designed to a group of people who are firing a million bows and lightning sparks everywhere. Is it just a case of me being pissed off this league that I'm not getting much currency? Self-reflection? Maybe a little bit. But it is the same story I've noticed every league. Like I say, every league, there's the teams of level 100 players who get to end game within the first weekend. Or within the next week, they've got all the level 21 skill gems. When the following week, they're farming end game content. Whereas 3 weeks in, as a solo player, if you've not been lucky, you're not even on tier 16 yet. So why am I doing this review like this? I say if you're coming from Diablo and you're watching all these streamers on endgame content, that's not going to be you, mate. It's not going to be you. You're going to be stuck at this stage, desperately hoping that something sells so you can buy that upgrade. And if it doesn't, like say you're looking at 2 million kills, and you might be able to buy the top item in the game. Other than that, you're putting 30, 40, 50 quid. What am I talking about? 50 to 100 quid on the weapon you want from an external software, and I just refuse to do that. I just point blank refuse to do that. So overall, it's a fun game. It's a great time sink. There's the other software tool, Path of Building, where instead of spending your... let me just explain, if you make a mistake on here, or not even a mistake, you just want to backtrack a little bit and put your points. Say I wanted to reduce my evasion, take my points out of evasion here, and then put that into some more DPS here. I need to spend in-game currency for that, and then I could see the results in game, and then I might not be happy with it anyway. So you may as well download this other software called Path of Building, what you could experiment infinitely without spending any currency on it, seeing what gives you the best results. So yeah, it's just frustrating when you do all that. You're putting all this time into the external softwares, you're thinking it's great. Oh, I've done all this, I've made all these improvements, and then you come to the in-game bit, you just don't get the currency on. I just don't understand why it's so tight. There's actually a game mode called Solo Self Fund in Path of Exile, and that's where there's no trading allowed. You just buy yourself. It's literally Path of Exile, not Path of Exiles. You buy yourself against the world, saving the world. And there's no trading. But guess what? It's the same base rate of currency and rarity drops. It's like, why don't you just times that by 20? Just have it as its own separate thing, but there's currency flying in left, right and centre. Let it be fun. Let you build up your character. Let you roll and craft items. And it not be such a big thing if you lost your currency, because then you are earning tons more currency. Like, just keep it its own fun, separate mode. Like, I just don't understand why it's so tight. Apart from leading me back to the belief that the game developers or someone in the fucking company is making it tight on purpose so that they can rake in all the extra money from these come and give me 50 quid and I'll sell you 50 divine websites. It's just a scam. It really is feeling like a scam. And like I said, there's Starfield coming out in a week. There was big hype for it, but I'm seeing mixed reviews on the back of some streamers who have got early access. But I don't want to play this over and over and over again on maps 13, 14, 15, 16. Like, I've done it for 2,000 hours. Like, yeah, for the first few hundred I was learning things. For the next 1,000 it was great, finally working my way up to past tier 16s to the Uber bosses and things. But when I put a new league on now, I want to be there again. I don't want to be stuck in this. Oh, will I find some currency? Won't I find some currency? Will my fucking item sell? Won't it fucking sell? Do I just leave it logged in all night and just fucking sit here while I watch fucking Netflix? I don't want to do that. I want to play the fucking game. I want to be playing it with the item that I fucking want. But yet here we are, stuck on maps between 13 and 16 because I can't get the fucking item I want. I think I'm just going to turn it off and wait for the next league, to be honest. There definitely are certain builds. There definitely are certain builds that cost a lot more currency to get good over others. Maybe the Flicker Strike is one of the more expensive choices. I've made that choice. I've just wanted to play Flicker because, like I say, the last tune that I played was kind of a tanky Inquisitor. It was pretty slow. So what did I want to do this league? I want to play something opposite, someone that was really fast, which again is more suited to heist. But the currency investment is just too high, and I just don't see why I'm going around in fucking circles with no progression. I mean, I'd almost buy, like, there's this vault pass here. There's a vault pass here. If you get the free track, yeah, you just get a lot of bollocks. Not even one divine's worth of stuff there. This is all cosmetic stuff. I don't know how much real money that's worth. But GGG have got to realise there's a lot of people in my position now, like, who are old school, who just want to play a couple of weeks, have fun. If there's no other games around, probably play a little bit longer. GGG have also got to realise there's a lot of new players coming to the game, coming from Diablo, who are going to make mistakes with currency. So why not, on the pass, almost like you could keep it like this: rewards for completing so many quests, or almost like a login bonus. End at 1 week, end of 3 days, you get like 3 divine. End of 10 days, you get another 5 divine. If you do 2 weeks, 15 divine. I suppose you could say it could change the economy. You know, if a sword was worth 15 divine and there's all this extra divine coming in, people might just put the price up. But I don't know. I think it's worth I think it's worth a try. Because running around in fucking circles, not really progressing for a full week is just pissed me off. I'm gonna leave this league. And like I say, when you look at the ascendances, people leave before they even choose an ascendancy. Like, people want fast action, and this is why people like PoE. It is fast action. Like I say, I've killed 200,000 monsters. It is a fast action game. But it just dries up. It gets to this stage, what I'd call mid to late game. It's not end game, and it just fucking dries up if you aren't lucky. And that's just how it's designed, and that's bad design. It's 2023, man. People are stressed. People have got issues. People are coming to games for a bit of fun. People are coming to games for a bit of escape. And yet you're faced with this fucking job aspect of, oh, you kill 100,000 monsters, you might get a divine. I'm running on fucking 400 to 500% rarity. 400 to 500% by myself. If you're running as a group, you're getting 700-800%, plus you're getting a 200% currency bonus. So I just wanted to give people this realistic outlook of PoE. This is my take. Someone's played it for over a couple of thousand hours on Steam. The hours are logged. Yeah, I'm just done. I'm just done with this league. I don't want to knock it too much, but it just could be better. It could be better. Just fucking make it a bit easier. PoE 2's coming out next year. take your foot off. Take your foot off the fun pedal. Off the fun brake pedal. That's what it feels like. It feels like there's a fun brake, and they've got the foot firmly on it. Just ease off. Let people have fun on your game. I mean, this game is 10 years old at the end of the day. Let the currency fucking flow. What does it matter? 10 years old, you've got a new game coming out next year. Let's get people enjoying this a bit more. I mean, like I say, if you're in a group, you're probably going, yeah, you shit, or join a group, or whatever. But it's like, I've got a firm understanding where I am. Like, if you go on PoE Ninja, everyone's using the Void, whatever it is, sword, it's 15 Divine. Like, you can't change that. You say, oh, whatever, do this, do that. I can't do this, I'll do that. It's 15 Divine. End of the day, does it look like I've got 15 Divine? No. Like, you can see all this. And what did you see come through? Can I buy this for 2 chaos? Did he even show up? No, he didn't. I said I bought that 3 divine. Bought that 3 divine. There's just nothing more to say apart from GGG. Stop being fucking tight. Reward your fucking solo players, duo players. Stop catering to groups. Make it on groups 10 times harder. You saying at the moment, oh, mobs are slightly harder for group play. They're not. They're not. You watch group play on PoE. They fly through it. Like, say if you've got lightning resistant mobs, they've got someone who's doing fire or physical, whatever. They're all buffed to hell by someone who just runs around. Their job is just to buff players. Like, how do you think that's harder than what a solo player is doing? I don't know. So, PoE, just... That's the message to you, mate. That's just the message. But anyway, this has been a bit of a rant. I'm just trying to be honest, just trying to be transparent. And I think this is why some people prefer Diablo over PoE. Is because in Diablo, they know what item that they want, they know which dungeon they need to do it in. They just accept that they may not get it until they've done 20 runs in that dungeon, 50 runs in that dungeon, 100 runs in that dungeon. Whatever their patience level is, combined with the enjoyment for the game, is what keeps it alive and active. Whereas, compared to me at this stage in the game, I know what item I want. I could find where it drops, but I know damn well. So say that Void Stone drops at Uber Elder. I know I can't beat the Uber Elder at the moment. So I need the currency to get it. And after a week of not earning any currency or not selling an item, like if this sold, even if this one sold for 6, I've lowered it from 15 to 6 over the past few days. Even if it sold for 6 now, I'm still 10 divine away from buying it. Would it give me the little bit of ambition to go and get it? Maybe. But I don't think enough. It could be another week before I get another 6 divine, and then I still haven't got it. Could be another 2 weeks. And then when I get this, I'm gonna need to re-roll all my passive skills from one-handed to two-handed. I mean, I don't mind doing that, but for some people that could be a lot of effort. Yeah, especially if they're not using path of building. But anyway, I think I'll leave it there. If you want to open a bit of a discourse with me in the comments, feel free. I'll monitor the comments. Do like a chat every now and again. So yeah, that's just my honest review. Thanks for your time.